Now let's see how to use vector form if we change the polarity of Q1 and Q2. The vector form of force which we had written was K Q1 Q2 upon AB square. Right now, still we are assuming that both charges are positive and therefore Q1 is repelling Q2 with a force of F, and that direction is A to B, and therefore we write it like AB cap. There are two methods to deal with change in polarity. Suppose instead of plus 9 coulomb, we have minus 9 coulomb charge. Then we know that instead of repulsion, we'll have attraction now, and Q1 is going to attract Q2 towards itself. What do you do for that in the vector form is simply write K as 9 into 10 to the power 9 multiplied by Q1, which is 4, multiplied by Q2, which is minus 9, and then everything else is same as we did in the previous example. Value of AB, whatever it was, write that down. Value of AB cap, which we had calculated over here, use that, and that will give you the answer. Simple plus 9 becoming minus 9 will change the answer accordingly. This is the complete form. This minus 9 together with AB cap becomes 9 into 10 to the power 9 into 4 into 9 divided by AB square. Negative of AB cap becomes BA cap. Look here, negative of AB cap is BA cap. And what is BA cap? BA cap means B to A, which means instead of repulsion, now force on Q2 is in this direction. This is the force, and direction of this force is from B to A. This will also change definitely, and its direction will be like this. Force on negative charge by a positive charge is now given by this much magnitude followed by the direction which is given by unit vector BA cap. But you don't have to remember this BA cap and all. Remember the original format, K Q1 Q2 AB square and then AB cap. Keep on assuming that both charges are positive and then simply put the value of charge with proper polarity here. That will automatically take care of direction sign. This negative with AB cap will fetch you directly BA cap. The other way of producing same answer is as follows. We need force on Q2 by Q1. Force on Q2 by Q1. We need two things. One is magnitude and the other thing is direction. Now what is the magnitude? Simply write the magnitude. For magnitude you don't have to use plus or minus sign. Magnitude is K Q1 into Q2. Do not use negative sign. You're directly writing the magnitude part divided by AB square. Now for direction we can see Q1 is positive, Q2 is negative, and therefore Q1 attracts Q2 from B to A. You will write B to A, but we know that we don't write like B to A. Instead, we write B A cap. That gives you magnitude as well as direction. Now, whatever you did with AB cap, if you need BA cap, simply put a negative sign in front of it. So what is BA cap? Negative of AB cap, which you can calculate the way we did in the previous example. If one charge is positive and the other charge is negative, or whatever be the combination, find out the magnitude and then accordingly calculate the direction. Let's again go into this example and find force on 4 coulomb charge by this minus 9 coulomb charge. And let's see how we can use the vector form. This method of using AB and BA cap is very convenient. We need force on Q1 by Q2. Write down like this: force on Q1 by Q2. Simply write down the magnitude. That magnitude is what? K into Q1 into Q2. Remember, do not use any sign. You are dealing with magnitude part. Divided by separation AB square multiplied by direction. Now, we need force on Q1. Positive charge is experiencing a force in this direction. This is the direction of force. Force on Q1 is from A to B, and therefore we'll write A to B. And now you know, instead of writing A to B, we write AB cap. That completes the answer. You can always calculate AB cap. This is the magnitude and this is the direction, and that gives you force on Q1 by Q2. So what the second method says, write down the magnitude, look at the figure, find out the direction, whether it's from A to B or B to A, and then write down that unit vector like A to B or B to A. You can use this method for whatever be the polarity. Plus, minus, minus, plus, 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 minus, minus. This method can be used for all those cases.